Hello and welcome back to my Bookkeeping For series. Last week we talked about bookkeeping for brand and web designers, and this week we're talking all about bookkeeping for copywriters. Next week we're going to be talking about bookkeeping for educators, like course creators or mastermind starters. And if you are none of those things, feel free to drop your online business in the comments so we can make a video about bookkeeping for you. Last week we talked about CPA Gary. We love CPA Gary. He has been helping us with our taxes and our books for a really long time, but he just doesn't quite understand what it takes to run an online business. He has no clue what Dubsado is or Honeybook is, and he is just a really good, solid, old school accountant. But we need to make sure that our bookkeeping is specifically tailored to our business and our industry so that we can be looking at helpful, accurate, and applicable information for the longevity of our business. All right, copywriters, this is for you. Let's get started. All right, first things first, revenue. And let's just do a little recap of what a profit and loss looks like. You got your revenue up top, your expenses in the middle, and then your profit at the bottom. We're really just talking about how you're formatting your report and how I format my reports for my clients, and then also where to categorize your transactions. All right, so we're starting with revenue. How I usually see my copywriters and how I set it up for them is one-to-one services kind of grouped together under revenue, then digital products and education, and then maybe some affiliate income. So those are kind of the three groupings. And then within those groupings, we like to see every single line item based off of your service offerings or your product offerings, if you have digital products or courses. I have an entire video about why it is so important to break out your revenue by revenue stream to see which ones are bringing you the highest amount of profit and which ones are bringing you the lowest. So the packages that I usually see for my copywriters are website copy, email sequence copy, sales page or launch copy, brand messaging, and then some of my copywriter clients have retainer clients themselves. So those retainer clients are paying them on a monthly basis, and they're basically like an in-house copywriter. So you definitely want to break it up based off of how your packages are structured so you can clearly see how much each one is bringing you in revenue. Then in that digital products and education, if you have it, it might look something like a template shop if you have swipe files or copy templates and any digital products that you might have. You might also do group coaching for other copywriters or have some sort of course that is all going to be grouped within that grouping, and every single one will have its own line item. Then if you have any affiliate income, you want to group that below the digital products and education. If you're an affiliate for Flowdesk or Kajabi or Dubsado, whatever that might be, it's good to see each of those by line item as well, so you can clearly see which one of those you're making the most affiliate income from. I actually love to see this, and I'm pretty nosy when it comes to my clients. I will go to their website or I'll be on their email list so I can clearly see what they're talking about, and the more they talk about it, the more affiliate income they get, and it is so fun to track. I love it. All right, so that is your revenue. And we're going to talk a little bit about sales tax. Usually my copywriters have no or minimal sales tax. A lot of services are not sales taxable, but definitely look up the sales tax rules in your state. And then below revenue, we do want to account for any direct costs. So anything that you are collecting money from your clients for that you are directly outsourcing to somebody else. So think like an assistant copywriter or a team of assistant copywriters. You want to know exactly how much people are paying you, how much you're paying out, and what you're left over with that you can use for your other expenses. All right, let's talk about overhead expenses for copywriters. These are pretty minimal. So you've got your bank fees if your bank charges a fee for you to use them. You've got your credit card processing fees like Stripe or PayPal or Honeybook. And those are kind of the standard small expenses that you might see. Some other ones that are specific to you in the online business industry are things like training and education, where you might be purchasing a course from someone else or investing in a mastermind or in a membership, and also software subscriptions. And I'm just gonna pause for a sec because software subscriptions is probably one of the biggest categories for expenses that I see between all of my clients. Except for contractors. We do see that contractors are usually the highest, but software subscriptions are definitely next highest. And that's because, shocker, we are doing everything online. So making sure that we have a really good tech stack is very important. So I made an entire list of the normal software subscriptions that I see for copywriters and just for really online business owners in general. And here they are. It is Adobe, Flowdesk, or ConvertKit sometimes, Dubsado or Honeybook, Calendly, ClickUp, Dropbox, G Suite, Zoom, Loom, Canva, Showit, LastPass or 1Password, and Kajabi if you have a course. All right, so to recap all of that, we've got revenue up top. We are grouping things by one-to-one services, digital products and education, and affiliate income. Then we have our direct costs right underneath that, like assistant copywriters, and then all of your overhead expenses underneath. So those are ads if you're running any, bank charges, credit card processing fees, contractors if you have any, like a virtual assistant or a bookkeeper, and then all of your software subscriptions and your training and education. Whew, that was a lot, but let's also talk about the structure and how most of the businesses that I see are set up for copywriters. Most of them are LLCs, so that just means that you pay yourself with an owner's draw. So you're transferring money from your business bank account to your personal bank account. Then some of my copywriters are set up as an S Corp. So if they have grown enough, they are starting to see lots of revenue, lots of profit, then it might make sense for them to elect to file as an S Corp. Basically just means that you are now an employee of the business and you're paying yourself a salary on a regular basis. It also means that the business is actually burdening half of the payroll tax expense. So you are paying a portion of it as the employee, and then the employer is paying a portion of that payroll tax expense as well. So let's talk about when the best time to hire a bookkeeper is for a copywriter. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, copywriters can get away with doing their own bookkeeping for a good couple of years. It is pretty simple. There's not a high volume of transactions, but from what I've seen, there is more of a high ticket service offering that you have, and you've got high revenue and then just a handful of expenses between your contractors and your software subscriptions. So here's the real tipping point to hire a bookkeeper. It is if you just don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole because you don't understand it, absolutely outsource it. Number two, if it just takes you too much time, you actually like doing it, but it's just something that you want off your plate and you have too much client work or maybe a team to manage. And number three, if you are really starting to shift from selling one-to-one to one-to-many and you're starting to see a higher volume of transactions, it takes you way too long to input all of that into your spreadsheet, that is definitely the time to hire a bookkeeper. Whew, I would love to know if this is how you categorize your transactions and if this is how you format your reports or if you do things differently. Please hang out with me in the comments. I would love to chat with you and hear about how you do things. And if you're ready to hire me and my team of bookkeepers, you can find us at madisondearly.com. See you next time.